Stocks on the editor's radar. And Nikunj, we've been talking about PSU banks quite extensively, but it's interesting just mapping out the kind of move that we've seen in the last week or so, especially from some of these heavyweights like SBI, BOB, and Union Bank. And the fact that they've snapped their 2-week winning streak, and there are a number of factors as well that can be attributed to this.
See, you look at last two numbers, which is BOB and SBI. BOB came over the weekend, SBI came in the second half on Friday, and the market reaction was subtle during the market hour, and now brokerage notes are out. What is important here is that you got to ask yourself is that what is next for PSU banks. The similarity between BOB and SBI, which in my book are the ones which could be a trend indicator for large cap corporate banks, large cap government owned corporate banks, is that credit growth is coming down, NIMs are under pressure. That could also be largely because of the way how the interest or the cost of deposit is moving. While I completely believe that this is not the end of the cycle or this is not end of any kind of a reversal for the banking sector per se, and the credit quality is still very strong, the whole re-rating which happened in the PSU banking space, which was a function of A, valuations, B, they had a huge advantage because of low CASA, and C, the credit growth I think was phenomenally strong. I think that whole re-rating is over. I think PSU banks are in a good spot, but they're unlikely to see what could be called as a perception expansion, which is what you call as price to book or P expansion. Banks will still clock a credit growth of 14 to 16%, depending on the bank which you're talking about. So if you use that as a prism, consider where the cycle and the asset quality is moving, consider that where the capacity utilization is moving. I think PSU banks have a scope to outperform. Bad declines, patches of volatility should be used to your advantage to buy into them. But the linear trading move what we saw in SBI in 2022, in 2021 and 22, let's say Bank of Baroda in 2022 and 2023, I think the linear move in my book at least is behind us. And these numbers will endorse that banking is one sector where incumbents are important, but the old timers and the big boys, they really have the right to win.